Hey folks, welcome to the Long Time Thoughts podcast. I'm Sam. I'm sorry I've been away for a while. I've actually been a little under the weather. I think I caught something from the kid or kids or who knows. One of the things, I don't know if I've mentioned, but one of the only probably negative things I can say about having children is the fact that they bring home diseases. I used to be someone who never got hurt. Got hurt. I got hurt plenty, but I never got sick before. And then all of a sudden, kids came, and bam, I'm now very prone to getting sick. Especially in the summer is not something that I've managed to do, but this summer with my son working as a counselor at day camp, working around little kids, and my daughter being with her mom at their gymnastics gym, and they have camp there, and a whole bunch of different kids coming in. So one of them, maybe both of them, got me sick. The big one was coughing for a little while, so I'm guessing it's him. But the little one also sounds a little stuffed up here and there. So who knows? But the point is, if you like not being sick, stay away from kids. I learned it the hard way, but I'm back. Maybe not 100% yet, but I'm definitely feeling better. Had some weird eye thing. Had a sore throat, but I'm actually susceptible to strep. Seem to get it more often than probably most. I don't know if anybody has any advice on that. Fortunately, not the case this time. Just a sore throat. I'm sure smoking doesn't help. And so it's been a little while. Great to talk to you all again. And let's get into it. I know last time we spoke, I created a review of a few albums. I said I'll do a part two, which I will during this video. And the first thing I want to start with is going back to this Joyner Lucas Skepta diss back and forth, which I mentioned in the last video. And there's been a little update. As you can see, Joyner did a round 2 KO here. And then Skepta came back with Junior's Law. And, I think, again, I'm American. I love American rappers. I don't hate English rappers. But generally, I'm probably going to lean towards the American side. I love this picture for Joyner's this for round 2 KO. Just great graphic. Not that, I want any kind of physical harm to come to either one of them. The one thing I do hate about beefs, rap beefs, is that sometimes, especially back in the day, they used to actually go out on the street and settle it. And a lot of great rappers, or potentially great rappers at least, were killed due to beef on wax. But, sometimes the beef on wax is due to beef on the streets, and they just put on wax just to kind of rub it in, or make a bigger point. Great graphic. Hopefully everybody stays safe. There's no actual harm being brought to anybody. But this round 2 from Joyner is pretty good. Not as good as the one that I thought was great initially, which is Nobody Cares. I thought, as again mentioned, one of the best beef songs I've heard in a while at the time. This was solid. I don't want to say that it's amazing, but still pretty solid. Joyner's not letting his foot off the neck of Skepta. Still gave him some hard punchlines here, and to me, he won the beef. Skepta came out with Junior's Law. This is after. And honestly, to me, Junior's Law, it's got some okay, but this is more of a song that probably would have been better if it was just kept on Twitter /X. Some of the insults here, just would have been better again if he just gave an X post as opposed to putting it in the song. I thought this was kind of a blah song. Give it a 3. Maybe the Joyner Lucas, I'll give a 6, 7, something like that. But yeah, this one was terrible. Not terrible again, but I just thought most of the things that he put into the song probably were better off just being put on just a Twitter feed and taking it from there. And honestly, I have not seen anything since. just these two insults, these two back and forth disses. If I'm missing one that you guys know about, please do let me know. And I'll also keep my eye out, see if anything else comes out, and I'll update it in future videos. And that's where we are with this beef, so just wanted to update that. And now we can get back into the album releases that I wanted to go through. And the first one is Don't Tap the Glass by Tyler, the Creator. Now, Tyler has been nominated. I'm pretty sure he's won some awards for some of his albums. I believe his last album was basically a classic. I believe he won some awards for that, or at least nominated for some awards. To me, this album seemed like a little bit of him trying something new. Now, I'm going to refer to my phone. I made notes and whatnot, so if you do see me looking down or whatever, that's just what I'm doing. Trying to be professional here, concentrate on you guys, concentrate on the camera. But yeah, it's 10 songs. There were some okay songs, but overall, it's like I said, seemed like something like an experimental album. He was trying new things. Now Tyler's always trying new things. That's what I kind of find interesting from him as an artist. And just some of it's just not for me. I think maybe some people like it. Some people enjoy an artist who just puts anything out. I'm not like that. I like what I like. I'm open to liking new things, but to me this was kind of an experimental album. I wasn't a big fan. It's to me it wasn't very lyrical. There's more about beats, more about ad libs, more about more just throwing out sounds there, kind of like a Travis Scott kind of type of deal, where he's just throwing out ad libs, throwing out different kind of sounds, trying to get things to stick. That's my opinion. Had a jazzy soul, Love Below vibes. Love Below, of course, is I believe the last album we got from Outkast. I know it was a double album, Speaker Box, Love Below. But I mean, that album I thought was more of a banger, just different, but way better than this in my opinion. There was, I believe, like Sucker Free was really like the song I liked. That was the first video he released. That was solid. But overall, again, not my style, not really something that I enjoyed listening to. Probably will not go back to it when it comes up on my Pandora. Might be one or two songs besides Sucker Free that I won't give a thumbs down to right away, but probably will get a tired of the song click from me, which will put it on the back burner for at least 30 days, maybe longer. Depends how Pandora chooses to, I guess, run those songs. Excuse me. But yeah, my rating for this, a 4.5. 10 songs. This is more of an EP probably than an album. But either way, that's my opinion on it. Like I said, gave it a 4.5. Just very jazzy, mellow, kind of soulish vibe. I know Pharrell's doing most, if not all, of the beats here. Just unfortunately not what I expected, especially after listening to Sucker Free. I thought this album was gonna have a few bangers on it, but I don't hate the artist. I just hate what the artist put out here. So I'm gonna keep looking out for Tyler songs, but this just wasn't it for me. 4.5. The next thing we got here is Raekwon's The Emperor's New Clothes. This is an album. It's got 17 songs. Now, one of the things, generally not a bad album. Lyrically, I mean, Raekwon, Wu-Tang in general, just some of the best. And as you can probably see, he's got some of Wu-Tang dudes here. He's got some of Griselda on here, or was Griselda at some point. Ghostface, he's just got some of the Wu-Tang dudes on here. Not the whole Wu-Tang clan, but he's got several features here. I think the problem with this album is that he put it out kind of right after Wu-Tang just put out that album, which I thought was generally a really high-end album. That was not something that I reviewed here. Again, if you want me to go back and review that, please let me know in the comments. I'll definitely be glad to go back and review it. But it came out before I decided to do these type of videos. So I think that kind of maybe was a problem for me, just because I've heard Wu-Tang, as a group. Um, de- Definitely a great album, and then Raekwon comes out with an album that, again, I'm not I'm not putting him down. That's just the Wu-Tang style. That's just the way, kind of what I expect to hear from them. But it's a little too much at once. After you're not hearing them for a little while, because they hadn't put out albums, Raekwon or Wu-Tang hadn't put out albums for a while, possibly like a decade, maybe a little less, maybe a little more. But it was just a little too much. You know what I mean? That was a full album. This is a full album. But let me take a look at what I had written here. Yeah, I'm just gonna give you the songs. Pomegranate right here with Inspector Deck. The bars are great. Inspector Deck, I thought, dropped amazing bars. Lyrically, just probably one of the best songs on the album. I don't know if I was a big fan of the beats on this one, but if that's the only complaint, overall the album has a pretty good beats, Wu-Tang type of beats. So, Raekwon's lyricism, and then Inspector Deck, who I thought dropped amazing bars on this song, just makes it better. This dude Carlton Fisk, who's also on it, he shows some great promise on it as well. I'm gonna look forward to seeing what I can hear from him. Then let's see, the Wild Corsicans, sorry, is another song that just brings the Griselda team back, and I've been a big fan of Griselda, big fan of course, Wu-Tang. Westside Gunn is not my favorite. He's kind of got that Ghostface voice, which I never actually was drawn to, but lyrically, I mean, just great song, something you can do. You can definitely sit down and listen to. Sorry, I keep looking to the side. My big man came in just from the gym, so just seeing what he's up to. Hopefully he's not doing anything wild or silly here. But yeah, let's keep going. I'm sure you guys don't care about that too much. And then, the 600 School Method, I believe. What? 600 School? Yeah, 600 School, Raekwon, Ghostface Method. H.O.D. man, that's my guy. I always look for him. He is definitely my favorite Wu-Tang member, but that just because to me he's just so great. That doesn't actually say anything about the rest of my love for the Wu-Tang Clan. I think all of them are great for the most part. Everybody misses, of course, but generally I always look for Wu-Tang. Again, just because Method Man's number one doesn't mean that the other guys are the close second, or even a 1B type of deal. But yeah, that really stood out to me. I give this album a 6.5 to 7. Overall, pretty good. The beats, the lyrics. Again, I just think it was too close to the Wu-Tang album. Had he waited a little longer, I probably would have given this a higher rating. It's just too much at once. So give it a listen, and I'm sure I'll be going back to this album. I'm sure I'll be listening to it, and my opinion on that number of 6.5 or 7 will probably change just as it's more spread out and I hear it more, and I get over the fact that I listened to a Wu-Tang album a whole bunch, and then this dropped, and again, beats, lyrics are all kind of the same, so it does, to me, tend to just get a little boring. But this, no reflection on the album, on Raekwon, on Wu-Tang, and just the features on here, just a very good album. I definitely recommend it. Give it a listen. The next one is Benny the Butcher, Excelsior. This is an EP, 7 songs on it. I know, now it says album, but to me this is an EP. Pretty simple. And again, back to the notes. And I've actually, songs like Sign Language, Money and Power, were songs that were playing even before the EP came out, so I heard a lot of it, B Money F, B Dollar F, whatever. Also another one, So all the songs in here are pretty solid. Toxic featuring Styles P is that old grimy New York type of song. You know, I guess, the Mob Deep type, the, Styles P and the Jada type. They've just had so many group names, not just the Locks, but D Block. But the style is all the same. It's grimy New York, thug rap, crime rap, which I love. And I thought that was a awesome song. And these other songs, like I said, Sign Language, Money and Power, B Dollar F, all pretty good. But the problem with Benny is he's kind of got the same type of flow. It was also an EP. I didn't really hate the album. I didn't really love the album. Some of the lyrics could have definitely been better. Not necessarily the best work I've seen from Benny, but not the worst. I gave this a 5.5/6. But something that, pretty short. You should be able to check it out and not take too much time. It's like maybe 30 minutes, probably even less of your time to check it out. Again, if you love that old New York grime rap, Toxic is definitely a song you should check out. And so these other songs are worth a listen at least. See if it's something that you like as well. And the last album is Alfredo 2, Freddie Gibbs and the Alchemist. And now the first one, a classic, of course. I believe Freddie Gibbs won awards for that. Lots of bangers on that one. So everybody was looking forward to this as well. Real album, 14 songs. He's got some features: Anderson .Paak, Larry June, JID, all guys I like. And I thought overall this was a solid album. Let's just see what I wrote here, just to give you my full wrap up here. Now, to me, this was more of this album. It does not come close to, in my opinion, the heights that the first one reached, Alfredo, the original, reached. It was just, I don't know. To me here, it felt like Freddie just maybe ran out of flows and lyrics to go with the Alchemist beat. Alchemist has a certain type of sound. You have to be able to flow on that sound. And it seemed like at points Freddie maybe just ran out of ideas, or ran out of lyrics, or just the flow just wasn't keeping up with the sound. That still doesn't mean the album was bad. My favorite tracks: Mar-a-Lago, Lemon Pepper Steppers, Ensalada, definitely songs I can listen to on and on again, and probably will in the future. The other one was Shangri-La. Feeling Good with Larry June, honestly not one of my favorite songs, but the hook, I like the hook, so overall solid song. But again, probably could have been better. I think Larry June's very talented. Of course, I think Freddie Gibbs is super talented. So I thought that could have been better. But again, to me, this was just an album that was more about throwing disses at a whole bunch of people than maybe making the perfect album like he did with Alfredo, the original. He's dissing Currency, who he collabed with at some point. Now, they have their problems. Benny the Butcher, Jim Jones, Academics. I believe there was somebody else, maybe West Side Gun. I'm not really sure, but I have Gun here, but I don't think he was dissing West Side Gun. So, definitely Currency, Benny the Butcher, Jim Jones, Academics. I'm sorry, Gunner. That's who it was. Gunner, the snitch. So, I just remembered. So, yeah, I think overall solid. If you want to listen to it for the disses, it's got some pretty good disses. I always like to see Academics get dissed, because just not a fan of Academics. That's a dude who's really talks a lot of trash, sometimes with no info, tries to start a lot of beefs, likes the type of artist that I don't. I believe he's always on Drake's side. You know how I feel about Drake. So yeah, I think overall solid album. Not really a big fan of everything on it. But if I had to give this a rating, I would say this is about a 7, 6.5, maybe 6.5, 7. Uh, Enough solid songs on here that you can enjoy it. Enough disses on here that you can again, enjoy it. The features are very good, even though the Larry June song isn't necessarily that great. Besides the hook, the JID songs okay, not great, but the fact that he's able to hold up this whole album without too many features, and this is the second version of it, alteration of it, is just amazing. The fact that they're able to work together again. I think he might have ran out of the flows and the ideas that he had on the first album, which again is a classic. But overall, definitely worth checking out. Like I said, 6.5, 7 for me. I would definitely skip some songs, but I'll let you guys listen to that, figure it out on your own. I think it's always worth listening to an album, especially if you like the artist, and if you like the producer. And to me, both of these guys are. Alchemist is definitely a legend. Freddie Gibbs, kind of getting there. He's put out a lot of top-notch stuff. This is, again, a little disappointing, but overall worth the listen. So that's really all I have in terms of music. Again, I was a little sick, so I do apologize for that. Now I'm just going to give you the links of the day, and we'll call it a day, and get back to you hopefully tomorrow or in the next few days. Hopefully I won't be gone for too long again. Enjoy speaking to everybody here, and hopefully you enjoy listening. And the first link of the day, again, the reason I'm giving you two is because we talked all about music. I don't want to give you another music link on top of the music we talked about here, but that's the reason, just like in the previous video. And the first link is this cannibal migrant on deportation flight literally ate his own arms. Now, this is coming from Christy Nome. Now, so I would say take this with a grain of salt. It's very hard to believe anything coming out of really this administration. There's so many lies, so much BS. I don't know if you guys heard, and maybe I'll make that my link of the day next time. But our president is talking about how he's going to lower drug costs 1,500%, 1,300%. He keeps changing the number, but it's generally always over 100%. And for those of us who are not great mathematicians, anything over 100% in terms of lowering the price means it's not only free, they have to give you the money now. So if the drug prices are going minus 1,500%, we should be getting some cash back just for taking our medicine. So if that's the case, I'd love that. Making money for getting healthier. Sign me up. But anyway, I just wanted to see. I wanted you to see that this is her quote the other day. I was talking to U.S. Marshals, been partnering with ICE. They detained a cannibal, put him on a plane, take him home. While they had him in his seat, he started to eat himself, and they had to get him off and get him medical attention. So what bothered me most, the U.S. Marshal said it was like normal, literally eating his own arms, called himself a cannibal, and ate other people and ate himself that day. So that whole quote seems a little questionable to me. I mean, you're in lockup, you're eating other people, you're eating your arms. It seems like this would be much bigger news, would be spread elsewhere, but I'll link this. You guys take a look. There's a video here. Read through the story. To me, I just found that funny. I would still take it with a grain of salt. I don't necessarily think this is true. I mean, the story is just so crazy that I don't buy it. But some of the craziest stories are the stories you just wouldn't actually imagine happening. So it's possible. But again, like I said, with this administration, take everything with a grain of salt, and we can move on. The other thing I wanted to link to you guys is this video here. Now, I'm not a big fan of the UFC, but I do like stars. I like watching some of these guys. Some of them are exciting. Some of them just put on a good show, talk a big game, talk a good game. Make a great spectacle of things. And Conor McGregor was one of those guys, even though he's still, I believe, supposedly active. I don't think he's going to be fighting anytime soon, but this was just funny where he's talking about, I guess, his bar. He does own a bar, which I saw actually caught on fire not too long ago. But, if you know anything about Conor McGregor, you know that this dude is definitely a cokehead. The way he acts, some of the things he does, pretty obvious my man loves his Coke. And I don't mean Coca-Cola. And this is him just talking about his bar and how quick they go through Irish Stout. And, he says, 3 days ago we ran out of, and he almost says Coke, stops himself, but says Stout. And it's just a funny video. Again, this is how you know you're dealing with a drug addict. And this dude definitely got some problems. I know he's in great shape. I know he continues to seemingly work out and continues to talk about coming back to the UFC. Again, I don't know if that's going to happen, but with all the coke he does, this is a dude that's on his way to dying early. I believe he's like in his mid-30s now, maybe even late 30s at this point. But, I'd be surprised if, again, based on appearance, if this dude is doing as much coke as it seems, I would be surprised if he's still alive in the next 5 years. Just because, coke's bad for the heart. I don't know if this guy was ever a steroid user. He also does a lot of stuff. He, puts a lot of energy into everything. And again, I believe that's coke related. And I never want to see anybody die over stupid stuff, but Conor seems like he's on his way out if he continues on his current path. I'm going to link the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, it's a pleasure talking to you. I hope you have a great day, and look forward to speaking to you again soon. Take care.